Well, good morning, Ioana. Good morning, Eosius. It's just such a privilege to have you in the school and in Almaty. I know we did a lot of planning to try and make this opportunity happen. Why, Ioana, did you both come across from MIT in Boston to Almaty, Kazakhstan?
Yeah, I think we both are very happy to be here as well. I personally am so happy to be successful this time getting to the country. I think for me specifically, I am from Eastern Europe. I've lived there my whole life. So when I was looking into opportunities how to spend my January, I was very interested in this idea coming to Central Asia and exploring another country that also has a similar past to my country, like in certain aspects similar culture, but also is very different. Yeah. And I was very excited about this opportunity to see this amazing country as well.
Well, we'll come on to what your thoughts are. Eosius, this is completely different from America in many different ways. What have you enjoyed? What are 2 or 3 things that you might have just enjoyed as you come into country in Almaty?
I think first and foremost is just the hospitality from our host families.
Super.
It's been way above what I expected, I guess. And coming into Kazakhstan, I didn't really have much of an idea of what to expect. It was sort of, I guess, the reason why I came here. It's sort of a good mix of what I know and what I am not familiar with, and it's in terms of I have had a lot of experience with learning about Soviet history, so that is involved with Kazakh history, and then somewhat I've been learning Russian for a few years, but it's also just a part of the world where people in the West don't really know much about, and just going around the city, trying food. I've had bishbarmak, mante.
Wow.
It's been a great experience, especially having it homemade was
the best.
Really good. Yeah.
And that's so good. I mean, in terms of your studies, your real sort of major, if you like, is not Soviet history or Russian. These are minor and subsidiary interests, but your key discipline at MIT is which major are you doing?
So I'm doubling in material science and engineering and electrical engineering. Yeah. Most of my interests lie in solar cells and batteries sustainability. Yeah. So there's that electrical material side, that fundamental science in chemistry and physics, and from the material side, and then on the electrical engineering side, there's more of the devices, the applications that we can have from using these electronic materials.
And you had some great experiences. You worked with Tesla for a little bit on their solar cells?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Which is cool.
Mm-hmm. Yes, so with that, it was their project called Solar Roof, in which they incorporate solar technology into roof tiles, so you don't have to buy a solar panel and also a roof. It's still in the process of being feasible and lowering the cost, but it's quite a cool project. And I also did, research at university, and also in Korea with solar cells as well.
And we're really interested and our pupils are interested in the solar cell project for Haileybury Almaty to try and get a solar farm, if you like, for the school. So you're contributing to that sustainability journey. I know both of you are passionate about the earth and sustainability, and Ioana, one of your key interests has been well-being. Do you want to tell us a little bit more about what well-being means to you?
Yeah, definitely. One of the key things about well-being in my well-being journey has been the fact that when I came into university, I didn't really understand how I could connect to the idea of well-being. I thought I'm doing pretty well and that, there's some things that I can improve on, but in general, I'm doing fine. However, throughout the years, I realized that there's a lot I should be working on. And while maybe my grades were good or outwards, it didn't seem like there were things that I needed to improve. With the fact that I was doing more stuff in college, that I had to rely only on myself, I realized that there is a lot of things where I am pushing myself, for example, too much. Yes. I was trying to do way too many things, and ultimately I did burn out for a year, and that was a very hard journey to understanding myself and understanding where my limits are and why it is very important for me to keep them. But also it's been very interesting to see myself how I can flourish better when I take care of myself, when I actually consider what I need more of. For example, the fact that you cannot only be studying, you do need to be hanging out with friends, and you need to eat well, and you do need to get enough sleep. Like all of these things I have been discussing in college with my peers, with my advisors. I am part of the official well-being program of the university, and there we're getting trainings on these topics, but we're also having these conversations with other students and trying to be an example and to inspire them to take better care of themselves as well.
And that's what this whole program is about, really, is the Global Teaching Lab is allowing well-qualified undergraduates from an excellent university, what many regard as being the #1 global university, to come and share experience with students from different ages. And we would totally go with you that unless a young person is happy, they're unlikely to be fully successful. And so the academic performance will go hand in hand with balance in life and happiness and physical health, mental health. So that's great. I heard just before we started our discussion that you'd been to Model United Nations as a group yesterday. Maybe, Jana, if you tell us a little bit about MUN, is that something you're in agreement with?
To Sarah?
Yes.
Yeah, Model UN has been part of both of our journeys to getting to college.
Yeah.
And I still am involved in Model UN in college. And we talked a lot yesterday with the student club here about how that changed us and how it affected our life in college, how what it gave us in specifically as STEM majors now, but also in general in life, how it has helped us to improve ourselves in ways. And I would say that all the students were very engaged. They asked great questions both about the specifics of Model UN and how it relates to college. So I think we were both very happy with that meeting.
Things like presentation skills, self-confidence, and thinking about arguments quickly, these are all really important life skills for any human being, and particularly when you're at university and looking for your first jobs as well. And Eosius, you also both came to the robotics club, I think. Is that something that you've done any work with in the past yourself, and how do you feel about robotics?
So I personally haven't done any work with robotics. Most of my involvement in high school was with debate and Model United Nations, but I am an electrical engineering major, so I have done some classes at MIT. Probably actually one of the best classes I took there was this class called 608 Embedded Systems. And you have to basically, the embedded part is that we have things that are sort of more hardware, and we also connect them to servers and things that you would consider software. And for our final project, we built a pool game that people can use a server to, send whatever move that they made, and that would appear on another player's LCD screen. And programming that, and it was actually the COVID semester, so I just worked with the group of people that I was with at MIT, but that was also just a fun experience to bond together with them and create this cool game.
Terrific. I mean, nothing like a project to really get people investing their time and building teamwork skills. I'd be very interested if you had one piece of advice each for our students who are perhaps targeting a high tariff university, a selective university. Jana, what would you advise any young person to do if they wanted to improve their chances?
Yeah, that's a great question. Very important. All the students are very excited about learning about this. Of course, there is no one way to get into a university, and it's going to depend on whether you want to go to the UK, to the US, or another country. For the US, I would say it is very important to find a passion project, to find where your heart is leading you, and that's going to make it, if you spend a lot of time in high school working on this, trying to get better, to help others with this, etc. Just like spending your time there and being passionate about it will give you a lot to talk about in your essays, will give you achievements to talk about, and also might relate naturally to your major if you're actually passionate about it, and that will also help you in the UK and other similar systems.
We might call a passion project supracurricular, but something that you can develop that's outside the curriculum and that really shows your own independent thought on a process, maybe working with a team.
Yeah, working with a team, leading if you can, just improving on what's already there. Sometimes I've seen people successfully do stuff that's already in school, but just improving it or pushing it to be better. And sometimes people do something that's way outside of what they've done in their curriculum, and it's also very impressive. The important thing is to be able to explain a lot about the structure of it and the facts, but also how it relates to yourself and how you feel about it and how it has affected you.
Good. Aosia, so do you have a top tip?
Yeah, building upon what Ioana has said already, it's really about the character you want to show towards the college. It's a lot about, I've had these experiences in high school and before, and this is what has made me the person that I am currently. And I have these set of passions, I have this background. A lot of people in the United States come from an immigrant background, including myself, so talking about that is also a great way. A lot of the students here, although a lot of them lived in Almaty, lived in Kazakhstan most of their lives, some of them have come from outside of Kazakhstan, so talking about the journey that has made you the person you are and that you're going to be a great member of that community and a great academic student also is sort of the best tip that I can
be yourself, students. Be authentic and be proud of who you are and your background and be able to explain it.
Yes.
Great. Well, we'll keep it short, but I think it's a terrific opportunity to have you join us in January. I hope that we'll get some more exciting learning experiences as you've been teaching in the classroom, and thanks for sharing a little bit of your thoughts so far with us today.
Thank you for having us.
Good.